up in the name of the fish tank? I'll check them out.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing tonight?
That caught me off guard. Oh my gosh. I was jamming.
What's up, everybody?
You guys hear me, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
how's it going,
We
Andrew?
hear you.
So we are live. Welcome back, everyone.
Happy Saturday.
We all survived for another week.
Yep.
We worked all week. Now we want to see Tank. I'm so burnt out.
Right?
I want to see a tank that isn't mine. I'm burned out from working on mine this week.
Well, that too.
All right, so we have our special guest tonight, guys. We got Adam Sandler here. He's going to be showing us his
Andrew.
Andrew.
Oh, what did I say?
That's the comedian.
I get
Oh, my God.
it.
Sorry.
By the way, I related.
And Ryan's been drinking, everybody.
Yeah, thanks. Drinking that special iced tea. I don't know. Yeah, so we got Andrew Sandler here, guys. He's going to be we're going to be discussing about his 17,000 gallon saltwater aquarium that he has in his home. So we're going to see the ins and outs of all the workings of this system. So thanks, Andrew, for coming on our show tonight.
My pleasure.
When I hear 17,000 gallons, oh man, I feel like my whole house will just go right in that tank.
I'm thinking that I made a mistake. It didn't go bigger.
That's every hobbyist around the world.
Sounds like the rest of us.
That's true. It's very true. Very true. Oh my gosh. I couldn't imagine the maintenance and everything on that. Like every time I see a post, I'm just in awe. It is truly a magnificent work of art.
Oh, it sure is. So, Andrew, you want to give us a little background about yourself?
Background, sure. I'm full volume. Background is I'm a financial hedge fund guy. I've been a stock market long short guy. I was raised in that business from my father. I have a brother that does it also. And you know, the fish tank hobby was a way for me to de-stress. I had a grandfather who used to take me to the aquarium, and 10-gallon tanks became 20s, and you know, discus, and then African cichlids, and then saltwater, college, and then my dream was to have a big house with big custom tanks and tennis court, and I was actually a nationally ranked tennis player, and ultimately the first marriage came to an end, and I had to do it again in another house, another life.
Yeah.
And it just went bigger and better each time. I have a guy from Country Critters here, Jonathan, who's here with me. Let's say hello to you.
Hey, Jonathan.
He serviced my other tank in the rental home. And what was your dream? And we put a couple of strings together to see the size of the tanks. I mean, that's literally how this thing was created. How big you want it? And I didn't know it was going to be 6 years, but I'm happy that the journey was difficult, and it was testing and writing checks with no enjoyment for several years. But once that first fish came in the tank, the whole thing changed. That was November of 19.
Yeah, so it took a few years to get
1 year. Yeah, it's one. I'm only 1 year into this beast.
So Jonathan helped you with the first tank too?
Yeah, Jonathan's helped me with all my tanks. He helped me with my first one. We built a beautiful, like 1,500 gallon system in a rental house.
Oh,
that
really?
I knew I was only going to be in for 3-4 years, but we did our best.
Okay. Was it a reef tank or?
Yeah, it was loaded with coral. I actually won Reef Central Tank of the Month, June
Oh, really?
2014. Yeah.
We'll have to check
Wow, Reef Central.
that. Yeah. Yeah, I had no idea.
So what
yeah,
you're saying
I
is,
used to grow a lot of coral,
yeah.
and I used to break my back on the ladders and
Yeah.
have no hands and so forth.
Yeah.
So we need to kidnap Jonathan and have him build tanks for us.
Listen, just make sure he's done with mine first.
Does he have a tank too?
He runs a store.
Oh, does he?
he
Okay.
runs a store in Long Island called Country Critters.
Country Critters.
Oh man, you're close. You're close to me, man. I'm in Brooklyn.
Oh, you're in Brooklyn, yeah. He's in what are you in Medford, Patchogue? Yeah.
Patchogue. Okay,
And
not too far. There's hope for me yet.
yeah. You know the store? So how many gallons that store have?
Probably like 15,000.
Yeah. So the store basically is 15,000 gallons, and then a lot of mammals and kangaroos, and he does some crazy birds and all other stuff. So he's got a ton of foot traffic through the store.
We've had some guys from up there speak at our club, the Brooklyn Aquarium Society, down here at the aquarium. From up there, Patchogue, Wantagh. See,
Yeah.
small world.
D, you've just froze.
Yep, I'm
There
back.
you go.
Wow, I'm sitting here trying to find this tank actually.
Are you looking?
I'm like, I want to see pictures of this, but I can't seem to find it. Like, I can't find the right archive stuff.
You want me to turn the camera on the rear camera again now?
Well, no. I was looking for that tank of the month one.
The Reef Central.
Your old tank, yeah.
Oh, Reef Central, June 2014.
That is crazy. Yeah,
That was
I
a
can't
rocking
seem to find it.
system. I was growing coral to the sky on that one.
Wow.
Really? Eh? So your new system right now, like, are you putting corals in this one? Like,
Yeah, well, the idea was to create 2 tanks.
okay,
One was fish first, and we'll find the coral that matches. And even if it's not the fanciest coral, we want to
right?
basically have fish.
Yeah, because you have quite the mixture of different kinds of
Then
fish.
we have a tank upstairs, which is not finished yet. It's 2,500 gallons. Probably start finishing it in January, but that will be coral at all costs. So we'll have small fish, all reef safe.
Oh, 2,500 gallons. That's a baby. That's a baby.
2,500,
That's like my whole house.
12 by 6 by 4.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah. So you have the large tank, and then you have another tank on the side.
Which just means the work's going to double, right?
Right.
So now you're gonna build another filtration room for the other tank, or are you gonna try to tie them together?
It's already done. It's already laid. The sump's already done. What needs to be done is the automation panels need to go in, and the lights. That's really it.
Okay.
But the automation guy we want to finish the code in this big tank first.
Okay. So controller-wise, like, you're using like PLCs and stuff like that.
We're
like,
using PLCs, yeah.
Yeah, building your own code. Okay, cool. Yeah, because we were wondering like what kind of controller you were running. Because I remember watching like your previous videos, like I was saying before, like your electrical room. Like, I'm in the electrical field, and I can really appreciate the guy that went in and hooked that all up for you and did the installs. Like, that's a lot of gear you got there.
Yeah, that was one of the hidden costs. I mean, among other things.
For sure. Electrical isn't cheap.
And how many panels you got for that system?
It's just the pumps alone and the heating and everything for it.
Yeah. So the
Heating
code is
system
still being
alone.
written and tested and expanded. And when it's finished, we're gonna go to the other tank.
Okay. Nice. I saw from you have a nice backup generator I seen for that system.
So we have two 800 amp services, a separate 800 dedicated to the tanks.
Oh,
And the generators are,
wow.
We have two 250 kWs. Basically one for the house and one for the tank.
Right. Yeah, you
More or
have to.
less.
Yep. Has it ever turned on you?
Yeah, there was a
Long Island.
storm that came through. Do you remember that one, right?
Yeah, did you get hit with
We
this
were
one that
out
just
for like
passed?
4 days.
Well, that
Really?
was this year.
Yeah.
Really?
So
4
now,
days?
how long is your delay between it switching over?
Right away.
Because
right away.
Because you have those pumps, man. If those pumps stop, that water's got to go somewhere.
Yeah. Well, sometimes we lose some.
Yeah.
I bet, man.
It's just another water change.
Yeah. Holy smokes.
So now that's funny because I know one issue with Long Island is that a lot of the houses are
There you
below
go.
the
Now you got
water
a
level.
picture of that
So
tank.
I remember that
With
tank now.
Jonathan and Michelle.
Yeah, I
oh
remember.
wow, yeah, there you go. Wow, look at the growth in that. Jeez.
That is.
Yeah, that was all done with knowing that we only had a few years too, which was so crazy and stupid, but whatever.
Just to tear it down, eh? Holy smokes! Everybody,
That's
everybody, everybody strives for tanks like that.
wow. Yeah, that is a phenomenal tank.
Yeah, very impressive. I remember that now. I've seen that before. That's who owns that tank.
So now for the people watching, Chili Flores just put a link in the comments, and that leads you to the reef keeping issue where his tank is highlighted there.
Yeah, I
Reef
just.
keeping magazine.
There's my friend Shelley.
All right, I just threw it up on the screen there for everybody.
Yeah.
Now there's a lot of planning, a lot of labor of love, a lot of schematics and work that goes into designing and laying something like that out. Like, how long did it take you to, like, the planning phase of that tank? I know you didn't just run out and just start building.
This one? This
Yeah.
house? I think we started designing it like literally before we even closed. In fact, I wanted to see what I needed to get extensions for the village and the boards. And the seller of the house, sort of guaranteed me that he would get the approval process going for me.
Yeah, because for
Did a
people that
contingent on
don't
that,
know,
actually.
There'd be a lot of
for
coding
people that
issues, right?
yeah, and for people that don't know, in New York, when you're in the townships, Brooklyn is Kings County. When you go to Long Island, each township you have to get approval for certain things. You add on to a house, it can be a real pain in the butt.
Right.
The power,
Right.
the
Yeah, yeah.
building, the permits. Oh my God, I could imagine you having a little bit of a tug of war with that.
We had a lot of unusual decisions to make, unexpected. Like, could we bring phase 3 power into the house, or do we have to bring extra phase 1 power and do VFDs?
Yep.
There were several. Do we heat the sub basement, or do we heat the water up? Things like that.
Right. Right.
Now, I would imagine with that much volume of water, even if you did a water change, you'd probably have to have a tankless system and probably cool the whole room rather than try to spot heat or cool the tank itself.
So what we decided was, the RO water comes out at like 60 some odd degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We can heat that RO water up with 2 boilers to 80, 10,000
Yeah.
gallons basically to 80, 60 to 80 in less than an hour, half hour with
Okay.
these natural gas boilers. And we
Hmm.
chose to do that and to heat it that way as opposed to heat the sub basement.
Hmm.
Okay, makes sense.
That's a lot of water to be trying to heat.
Yeah. Like a water change for you. Like, what are you looking at?
A lot of hours from Bob Stark. And ESG. Look, we have to do sand filter backwash.
Okay.
1,000 gallons, 1,200, just to backwash the sand filter. So
Right.
sometimes we just keep going. And we get 4,000 or 5,000. It's not any more difficult for us.
And then where is all that water going?
So yeah, water change is 4,000
That's a lot of water.
gallons. It's a lot of water.
There you go.
Industrial DIRO machines, and we buy bulk sodium chloride, magnesium sulfate, and use Bob's liquids.
Okay. Yeah, I saw your post there where you got like a salt order in.
So actually, the guy that
What's that?
developed Bionic, the guy that developed Bionic isn't too far from you. There are companies
That's
out
one
there.
of the first of all, I love giving business locally to Long Island companies.
Yeah, he's
Plus,
right
it's
there.
such
Not,
clean salt.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yep. Makes
so
sense.
I could imagine he'd be a happy camper when he hears 17,000 gallons.
Yeah, he makes the donuts in the morning for me real early.
That's crazy. That's a lot of water. That's a big change. Holy smokes. Oh. So did you want?
We get like 10, 12,000 gallon deliveries every 2 weeks.
Wow.
Try for it at least.
And where are you storing that? You have the vats down there also?
Yeah, we store it in the quarantine room and in our lab, which was supposed to be a movie theater, but now it's a lab. And basically 4 bags of sodium and 1 magnesium sulfate, and 2 of number 1, and one
Two
of B is
Bs.
1,000 gallons.
Oh, nice. Perfect.
Wow.
Yeah. So maybe like take us for a little tour around your tank, Andrew.
Right, 250 pounds of dry make 1,000 gallons. What's that?
I was gonna say maybe you want to take us for a little tour around your tank and show it off.
Sure. Let me turn the rear camera on. Let me do this.
Yeah, because you got to see it to believe it. All these numbers don't really put into perspective the size of this tank.
Yeah. I'll give him the solo layout here.
I'm happy he's a New York guy, not Canadian.
Not tonight, eh?
It's about time.
They were beating us up, Sean, last
Can
week.
you guys see what's going on now?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's on the big screen here.
And you
Okay.
see that baby
So,
goes down into the ground.
Yeah, we go 2 feet below grade, so that we're staring. The water
That's great.
line is about 7 feet, but I'm 2 feet under.
Wow.
And you see that baby goes down. Go walk around to the sides.
Yeah, it's lagging because the camera's
see
trying
that?
to focus on that blue. There you go.
Want me to make it whiter?
Nope, just keep it in one shot and try to have it on that downward angle. There you go. As the camera tries to focus on that blue, it's going to lag a little bit.
Okay.
That's perfect. Look at the scale of that.
There you go. Beautiful. Look at those angels.
You can't call the tank police on Andrew. Those tangs are happy in there.
Yeah, they are fat and happy. They get fed about 6 times a day.
Holy mackerel.
4
You're not
times
doing
frozen and 2 times nori.
I think you got a few fish from a shop that I would shop at Candy Corals near Toronto. Did you get some?
Yeah, I do.
koi tank?
They're in the back. Would you like
Oh,
to
nice.
those?
We got those from Afnan, eh?
Yeah, I'll walk back there right now.
Doesn't Candy Corals gets a lot of nice stuff in there, don't they?
They must know where these koi tangs hang out. They must like have a deal with them.
I know. I just got
under the ocean.
I just got a shipment of corals from him yesterday. The ones I got lost in FedEx, but I got
By
them.
the way, these are my big skimmers. You see those?
Oh. I was happy you walked past a reactor. We actually have one of those 3-foot tall reactors in our garage right now. I put it on our Facebook page. So if anybody was asking what you use one of those reactors for, Andrew has probably 5 of them there.
Is we losing him here? Andrew's got dang near a whole fish store in that back room.
It's probably bigger than most fish stores. He may be losing the signal back there.
Well, he's underground, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's underground.
The koi
There you
tanks
go.
are not in good Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Have to run another router down in that basement.
Yeah. So
Or just probably an extender because he's below the ground there.
you guys
Wow,
see
that is beautiful. First of all, I'm jealous because the Achilles is like my holy grail. And he must have like 5 of them in there or something.
I think there's 6. There's 6 in there.
Oh, doggy.
The doggy?
Yeah.
That's my best friend.
That is beautiful. And then like another couple of
Yeah.
minutes, you're at the Long Island Aquarium. But who needs to go to the aquarium? You got it in your house.
Super, super impressive.
You gotta turn it around here.
Good job, Brian.
Hold on, I was just making sure. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Like, that's an awesome system. Holy smokes.
Now we got Dave was asking, is that tank all acrylic, right?
The big tank? Yeah, it's all acrylic, 4-inch acrylic.
That's got to be bulletproof. Yeah, it's bulletproof.
And
4
the
inches.
back, the floor are honeycomb fiberglass.
Wow. How many inches is that? Is the acrylic?
The acrylic.
Your acrylic.
4
inches. You're viewing.
4 inches.
So,
of course, we had a couple of companies bid for this just to sort of keep companies honest.
Yeah.
Of course, ATM. We just wanted to see for fun what they did, and they wouldn't go above 2-inch. They thought we were nuts.
Oh, really? Eh?
Yeah, they wouldn't build to our specs.
Well, that's aquarium. That's public aquarium grade. Is 4-inch better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they built for aquariums. See, leave it in New York, and they're New York boys. They're disappointing me, Andrew.
Yeah.
They're New York boys too, originally. I bet my boys at Manhattan Aquarium cried.
Manhattan Aquarium.
I bet Joe cried.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call Joe after this. I bet he cried.
How many fish you got in there now? You think? You lose track, or?
We think we're pretty close to 400 or 500.
Wow. So I would imagine you have to feed those guys quite a bit. I mean, you making your own food.
We go through 3 to 4 pounds of frozen a day, and maybe 20, 30 sheets of nori a day.
Okay.
Wow.
What brand are you feeding? Or are you?
Quarter pound of nori a day, I'm told.
Oh yeah. Oh, like your food that you feed them. Like, are you making your own frozen? Or are you buying a brand name?
I should, but basically, we just use everybody's food. Larry's and PE Micey's and Angel Formulas, and we make soup in the morning. We rinse it, we put it in a jug, and that's the day for the day.
Oh, okay. You must be buying it by the bulk at least.
And the Cyclops and the fish eggs are separate for the Amphius.
Oh yeah. Now that's rough because I don't know too many people that bulk supply Cyclopes or Cyclops. That's a hard order. For a while, they weren't even producing it in California. I thought they put a freeze on it.
The PE cannulus, right?
PE
cannulus. We get it from Larry.
Okay.
Wow. Shout out to Larry.
Yeah.
We got a question here from a viewer. How many lights and what type of lamps are on your tank?
Good question. We're using all max spec LED.
Okay.
We're using the commercial 500-watt spot lamps and 1,000-watt floods.
Wow, flood lamps.
So the floods are in the front, the thousands at the reef broadcast, and then the spots are sort of in different locations.
Yep.
How many fixtures?
The spots use a combination of a 120-degree reflector and a 60-degree reflector, depending on where they are. If they're above the reef, to keep it narrow. Or
you hear that about the reflectors?
The 500-watt units use a 120-degree reflector and a 60-degree reflector, depending on their location. So to highlight different parts of the reef. If we want to spread out more or on a deeper spot, we use the narrow reflector to punch down further.
Yeah. What do you think? What kind of power you're hitting down near your rocks?
We actually did a couple of par dives, so we know.
Oh, did you? I was wondering what you're hitting because you want to put coral in there. It's a pretty deep tank.
They're between 200 and 500 now.
Oh,
at the bottom,
depending on where you are on the reef.
Yeah.
And there were some spots that were 90, 100 that we had to add more fixtures to get to.
Wow.
Yeah, it makes
on
sense.
the vertical surfaces.
Yeah, exactly. You get a lot of reflection off the top of the water as well, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty good. You got a 500 car down there. It's not like probably the highest peaks of your rock system. Like 500 is good, man. If you're hitting like your high, probably your highest points in your system there.
Yeah, 500 is up top, and
like that'll grow some coral.
I got news for you. Just for that tank is the better of 10 feet deep. No.
The tank is 9
feet.
9 feet.
So to even get 100 par at the bottom of that is impressive.
Yeah, and we're better than that. We only get to the 100 on the very vertical surface of the reef, where
okay.
you know. But and then we've added light since then. So as soon as Michelle is healthy enough, Michelle is just got a back operation from Jonathan's fiance.
Okay.
She's gonna do a final par dive and just measure it. I'm 100% sure since we added these extra lights, we're fine.
Okay. So you don't go in the tank yourself at all, Andrew?
I'm trading stocks all day, guys. I'm busy. Someone's got to pay for this stuff.
Yeah, right. Makes sense.
You got to get scuba certified just to put the corals in there.
You know, my kids have. Everybody's been in. The kids have been in. But we don't like to go in other than to do work, right? So
yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Now we have the saying, we want to keep our hands out of the tank, but you basically have to have your whole body in the tank.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, it's not about keeping your hands in. It's about your whole body.
That's sweet. I think that's everybody's dream, to have a tank that they can actually get in.
Yeah, exactly.
People, I get asked that question about swimming in the tank all the time.
Well, there you go. So we got Afnan on here, Andrew.
Oh, Afnan's on, huh?
Yeah, he's like he told me to send him the link tonight when you got on, so he wanted to check it out.
Tell him that that those fish don't have Wi-Fi, and I'll send him a video after.
Yeah, exactly.
They're doing well. They're already a week in the full copper.
Yeah.
And we'll probably start prossying them next week.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, when I saw the post that they were heading down to your place, I'm like, man, those are some pretty sweet looking fish you got.
Yeah, there's a growing chorus that wants me to save them for the 2,500, not put them in the display.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's a whole nother project. Now, how do you go from 17? What do you choose for the 17,000 that you don't put in the other tank? Like, are you going to play favorites now, Andrew? Now you got to treat both tanks kind of like your babies.
I think what we'll do is
frag one for the other. Right.
I think we're gonna do the upstairs tank all small wrasses and amphias and nothing bigger than, you know, that. I don't know. Let me check my hand out like that. 4 inches would be the biggest.
Right.
You know? And,
you can go rare.
I'll try to do different stuff if I can do different stuff. But certainly the corals will be different, right? I mean, I could do fluffy and not worry about fish eating coral upstairs. And down here, it's going to be interesting finding things that I've done tanks before with angels and butterflies. I'm pretty familiar with what goes and what won't work.
Yep.
The issue is you can't put one piece in because they're all gonna
go for it.
Yeah. So when we do things like that, we're gonna have to go in and dive and really plant many at once. And
then securing them in there, that's a trick too. I mean, when you put something new in a tank,
when you go in there and dive.
Yeah, because those fish are gonna see it as something new in the tank. They're gonna want to knock it over. I just found bite marks from my tilefish.
Michelle goes in this tank. They get knocked around with the flow. It's not easy to like keep your balance in it.
Or get your equilibrium, like telling down from up.
You get blown around, and mean, even when I had my kids in recently, they couldn't really stand in one place.
Now, how much circulation you have in there? I mean, those pumps are kicking horsepower.
Almost close to 800 on the main system. Yeah. 350 on the closure.
Yeah, I'm running something like 12 or 1,300 gallons per minute through.
Oh,
total.
And you must have very, very large UV on that system.
It's, 10 bulbs, 350 watts each, and like 300,000 microjoules.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's some serious heat.
300,000 microjoules of UV.
About 78,000 gallons an hour.
How many is it?
78,000.
Yeah, so converted to hours, we're flowing 78,000 gallons per hour through the system.
Really? So, have you ever had any catastrophes or anything that set you back a little bit when you're doing this build?
How about a couple of leaks? Does that count?
Yeah, in the tank.
Thank God it all happened before there was fish, but it happened while we were cycling a tank once.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, it was a beautiful cycle.
Holy smoke! Well, so what happened? Well, what was
drained it and repainted and re-siliconed and resanded and redid it.
Okay, so so the tank itself was leaking
a few times.
Holy smoke! Yeah, that's stressful.
But look, I mean, they warned me about 3-piece acrylics as opposed to when most people build a tank like this, they take concrete slab and they make windows.
Yes. Yep.
Right, and there's a lot less stress points and stuff. This was a project that not a lot of people wanted to attempt.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, because usually that's what you usually see is you always just see the viewing panel from that one.
A lot of liability if something goes wrong.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I can't imagine.
That's crazy. Like that'd be so.
All the leaks were relatively small, but we wanted to stop and redo them each time.
Well, shit, yeah, you want to have it perfect the first time.
Right. There's no reason to sacrifice here.
Well, exactly. Especially you're in the slaking stage. It's the time to do it.
So now, shout out Andrew. Before we do anything else, I want the builder of this to get credit one more time because we got people in New York, Long Island asking.
Jonathan, they want you here, the star.
Jonathan, and we want all of you guys, all of you New York guys, all of you everybody around, hit that thumbs up right now because I know their wheels are turning right now. They want to get tanks built. So shout out Jonathan here, and what is your business out there? Country Critters. So now we're going to get a carpool because we got to go out to Country Critters. We're going to tie up Andrew and bring him back to Brooklyn.
Right?
Because I can't believe I'm in awe of the planning for this tank. And how long did it take you to actually, from start to finish, how long did that take you from the start to finish of that build?
Well, we're still not done, and we're 6 years into it.
Holy mackerel! So all of you guys, if you got 6 years, you can have 17,000 gallons.
Well, yeah, but he might be able to do it faster the next time if the money's right. They're figuring out.
Well, now I want 20,000 gallons. I can't get one up now. Sheesh! Just build it 1 more inch taller.
I know it's like a competition, eh?
Bringing that up, the tank is like 180 gallons an inch. When we do
is that what it is?
So every inch is about 180 gallons, just to put that into perspective.
Yeah. And how much rock is in there?
About 20,000 pounds.
Wow.
Holy
so we had to put
I can't even imagine
in before we put the window on. So we put all the rock in the tank, and then we attached the window, and then after it was in place, then we stacked the rock.
Okay. Was it a certain type of rock you went with?
Yeah, we used the marker rock, but we had to build like a crane above the tank to move the pieces around because the average weight of a single piece of rock is like 500 to 800 pounds.
Okay, so you got like really big like boulders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then glue. That must be 100 pounds of glue. Cementing. Or did you use the Quickcrete?
There's hundreds of pounds of cement that were mixed to hold stuff in place, but a lot of the larger rocks just stay because of the sheer weight.
Yeah. Did you end up getting like bulk of like E-Marco 400, or did you just go the industrial stuff?
Big bulk.
Yeah. So then you got to cure that.
Yeah, I mean, there's also a lot of the rock is drilled and has fiberglass dowels, and there's fiberglass I-beams behind the back that create some of the spans.
Right. Give it that structure.
Yeah.
So now, if you had to do it over again, would you do anything different?
I think we would have made the filter room bigger.
Really?
Yeah. It's as the tank's running, we're running out of space for additional equipment, such as reactors.
Look at the bandits breathe right now.
Yep.
Same.
As we're looking at the tank, we've got a lot of spawning going on right now.
This filter room is bigger than most fish stores over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bigger one.
But it's still not big enough.
Yeah, we have to redo we're redoing our denitrators right now. The current denitration, the sulfur reactors, we can't run enough water through them without the ORP turning positive. So, and the water that runs through it now doesn't turn over enough. So we're going to need to completely gut that part of the system and rebuild something very big, modular, like those skimmers.
Right.
So now, do you have the sulfur? You have the sulfur reactors like on a big recirculation pump?
Yeah.
Or you just pumping them through?
No,
so they have
and a circulating pump, both. But we can't really get them to go, let's say, over 800 to 1,000 milliliters per minute without it having nitrate or nitrite.
Spikes, yeah.
Right,
so it's just not enough water going through it.
Then you get a spike.
And it's already aged. We're talking about several months already. So this is just needs to be redesigned. As it is, the nitrate's not horrible. I'm running mid-20s. It's not the end of the world. It's not like it's going to stop me from doing anything.
Yep.
It's just I thought by this time it'd be 5 already, 5-10.
Okay. Have you ever had any really crazy like algae outbreaks or anything like that you've had to deal with?
That concrete in there.
Yeah, the algae's had a lot of different stages.
Like anything, every new tank.
Yeah, a lot like everything. But we actually went hyposalinity once for a month. So we knocked it out, and then I had to redo it again, the algae, and then there was one episode we weren't sure whether flukes got through or it was something worse.
Oh, really?
So we chloroquine phosphated the tank, believe it or not, before they got inverts in there. And
I was going to say.
And then we went hypo, so we lost a lot. The algae sort of went through a lot of different cycles.
Right.
And that must be one heck of a chore because, I can imagine treating 150 gallons of water, but when you have to treat 17,000, and that 17,000 gallons include the filtration and reactors?
It's probably like 18, because there's probably 2,000 gallons of rock displacement, and then there's probably there's a couple thousand gallons in the sump and the pipes.
That's a heck of a lot of water to treat.
It's a lot of chloroquine. It's kilos of chloroquine phosphate. If someone said to me, "What is the most valuable thing you have in your house right now?" that might be the answer.
And then when you're getting that many chemicals, you're gonna have the FBI coming to your house. They're gonna be like, "What the hell is he doing with all these chemicals?"
I know.
So, like any fish disease you've got in there? Were you saying you had flukes?
So
it's like anything you quarantine. Yeah,
we quarantine everything, but the first batch of fish got rushed.
Oh, did it?
Because I had a party.
You want to get the fish in there.
Yeah, the party plan is where. Yeah, you know how that works, right?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
So I called TSM.
Peer pressure.
Quarantined fish. I called, whatever. But something's gonna get through.
Yeah.
When you put 150 in all at once.
Oh.
And
Well, yeah,
we waited. We knew it. And right on day 30, like the parrot life cycle, bam, we started seeing the fish scratch
they're flicking, eh? They're flicking.
We knew we were in for a few months
Hell.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, they're flicking away. Yeah, you have that party. Nobody wants to see an empty tank.
Nobody wanted to see it.
Nobody does. Well, even
Nobody
yourself.
wanted to see it.
Yeah, even yourself.
Jonathan did.
Yeah, even yourself. You're trying to stop yourself from putting it in early because you want to see the fish. Then you get the pressure from everybody else, right?
So for a party, you can literally have the mermaids get in from Coney Island. They can just swim around in the tank.
Yeah,
we get the mermaid parade in there.
We gotta find them. I gotta find. I want my wife to go in one video on a mermaid. But we gotta find a waterproof suit.
Yeah.
That could be quite entertaining.
One of your Friday posts, her swimming around in
Friday post. That's another whole nother story. It started out as, hey, I'll do a video. I'm having a nice quarantine. I'll make you happy. And this thing just, I don't know, it took another life. And people, I get 10, 20 comments a day. People, don't stop this. It makes my weekend. It's happy.
Yep.
And so we do it. And the only problem now is I'm getting into creative issues.
It happens.
Starting to consume me.
Yeah, it happens. But it's awesome. Like, every Friday, like I always appreciate you posted in the club there. It's awesome to see. Everybody loves it. I like checking it out myself. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So I got my stepson doing the editing now for the medleys. So that's helpful now that I don't have to do one song. That added a whole nother level of creativity.
Yep.
Hey, I'm surprised you don't have sharks swimming around in a tank that big.
I get a lot of questions on that, and we talked about possibly black tips and stuff, but at the end of the day, we wanted to make a nice, friendly reef tank.
Yeah.
A nice coral, and maybe if I build another one in my next life, I'll do a predator one. But it's just.
It's like how much
hard. It's too messy. Yeah. They knock into things. It's just too much waste. It's just not worth it.
Exactly. Just have it run a nice, peaceful, tank, reef tank.
I want a peaceful tank. I already had to remove a couple of nasty fish already.
Yeah. And the more stress you cause in there, then everybody gets sick and unhealthy. And
need 2 divers to remove a fish because they go in the circles, So you need a trap.
Yeah, I could just imagine.
We took out a nasty clarion. We took out a nasty asper.
Oh, really, eh? Was he just tormenting all the other fish or what?
Just like that. The clarion, hates yellow and orange. Like, he was trying to go after all the majestics and the semi-Levaris butterflies.
There's always one. You can't avoid it.
And you can see that fish right now at Country Critters. It's on display.
Oh, is it?
He went back. Went back to the store.
Yeah,
he was living it up. He blew it, that fish.
For a low price. That's crazy. Was it that difficult for those 2 divers to catch that fish or what?
Yeah, it's not easy.
No.
Oh, man. How could you? I can't even imagine them swimming around trying to catch it in the net.
It's not easy. They have to position themselves so that when it comes around, they catch it. It usually goes into a rock pile, and they put a net over the rock pile.
Yeah.
It's not a guarantee, that's for sure. Michelle has gone in a few times, been unsuccessful.
So you really have to put some thought into anything that's going to go into that tank before it goes in there.
Well, look how hard it is to catch fish in our own tanks, just like at this size. Imagine that. Man, that'd be rough. There's Jay's Reef here was saying, I assume eels would be a bad call, actually. Hard to get food. And what do you think of that? Eels in your tank?
Well, he's feeding about a pound, though.
Right. It's the feeding. You probably could do it if you wanted to.
Yeah.
It's kind of freaked me out a little bit.
Yeah. Especially you got to jump in there with them.
Yeah, exactly.
I can imagine anybody get bit jumping in there.
With
I
a
mean,
needle?
not with these friendly fish, but if you put in some crazy things in there, maybe.
I mean, I've had clownfish bite the hell out of me in the tank.
Exactly. That's
I've had them bite me, and that's a
somebody had
little
posted on one of the
clownfish.
forums about a maroon clown, and I said that's the only fish I'm really afraid of.
I literally
Big female
punched
maroon
mine.
clown.
I hit it once. It made me so
You hit it,
angry.
right?
I okay, look, Petter, don't get mad at me. I hit the fish
It's a
because it
mean
bit
ass
me.
fish, and the lightning ones, the lightning clowns, I think they electrocute them and they shock them to make them meaner.
Holy smokes.
Wow. I mean, I've had to flick mine a couple of times, and I've just got a snowflake, so I don't even have a maroon, and it's still a jerk.
Yeah,
I just added.
We have
one.
no clowns in the tank, but at some point we may put a big anemone in, or a couple of anemones, and then maybe we'll put some nice friendly Nemos in, small skunks, somebody that's not gonna bite.
See, now my fear with that is Ryan knows my fear with the anemones. In a tank that you have so many fish that establish, with my luck or your luck, one of them would go in the anemone. It'd be really aggravated.
Just planning out which coral is going to be okay and which is not. That's a whole nother game plan. We have a 300-gallon. Oh, we had a 300-gallon Marineland DD that also leaked, like they all do.
They all do usually.
They all do, and we're getting it replaced. And it's connected to this system. But we wanted to have a tank connected to this system with radions and stuff where there was no fish, so that we were sure the coral could grow. And so if it doesn't grow in the main system, it's obviously the fish, as opposed to in there.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So we just to know.
Yeah.
So we'll probably plant both. When we get a piece of coral, we'll plant it in the 300, and then in the main system.
Yep. Yeah, because you got such a mixture of different fish in there, like the pick-on corals and stuff, eh?
Yeah, I think the semi-levarduses will be difficult. I think the raccoons might be difficult. Butterflies, which ones? Maybe. Some of the angels, like the emperors, and they might go after some things. But at the end of the day, I've done this before, and as long as it's a smooth skin, hard coral, it's usually okay.
Okay.
Stag is usually okay. Acro's okay. Pavona, anything like that.
Yeah, the Pavona was really resilient in this tank. I had to pull it out because it kind of took over.
Yeah.
Right.
What about adding some giant clams?
Oh, that would be awesome.
I think they would never open up. I think the fish would. I mean, I would love to do it in this tank.
The angels might.
Yeah, it would be pretty awesome.
I think the angels just.
The angels might go after the mantle. Yeah.
My experience.
They just torment it.
Yeah,
they peck on them.
Yeah.
They keep it closed.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool if you get away with it, especially
it would be unbelievable.
Yeah, some very large ones if you could get your hands on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just get rid of them and put them in a cage, like get an acrylic cage. The fish cages.
You see all the fish turn the cage over.
Like a permanent acclimating box.
Like a shark cage. It could be like a shark dive. People come in and dive in. Shark cage with the clams in it.
So the one guy said he'd love to. What did this guy say? I'd love to see some massive toadstools in there, like 2 to 3 foot diameter.
Can you imagine?
That's on the drawing board.
Toadstools grow fast in that.
I have one in quarantine. A big mother, but it's not that big in quarantine right now because it's not doing as good as it was. But it's a huge green long polyp.
Long polyp.
Yeah.
Beautiful. But yeah, we could do those, I think, unless the butterflies go after those polyps. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Well, I just found the filefish taking bites out of mine, so I had to pull it out. That's what yeah, the matted filefish.
Oh, the filefish,
the filefish. I actually didn't notice bite marks in the freaking side of the toes though. So they go after the polyps.
Eric's like a lot of leathers, mushrooms, green slimers, or purple.
I think all those are good, right? Like
The green
Nephilia,
slimers.
Yeah.
Anything that like that. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
slime, I think works.
Zoas would be pretty cool going over your rock. Nice and
Those I think get destroyed by the angels.
yeah.
The angels are gonna eat them. Anything soft and meaty, they're gonna eat.
It's those angels, eh?
Yeah, they're gonna eat anything soft and fleshy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does definitely kind of limit you.
It does, because you got such variety of different fish in there, right?
They
I'd
won't.
say,
They
like,
won't.
Like
They won't eat the
some of them are
chalices.
reef safe, but I don't know. Like they have a school of Tinker's butterfly. What are they going to do?
They eat polyps. That's the only problem.
Yeah, I mean, or semi-Levartis butterflies, a school of them.
You got some pretty rare butterflies in there too.
Yeah, I got 4 wrought irons in there, and 2 of them are pinned in the corner. We need to get Michelle to dive and get them out. Two paired up, and they won't let 2 come out of the corner.
Oh wow! So you might have you got a spawning pair there.
I think we have a few. We have a few pairs in here. We see spawning activity all the time.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Have you ever got fry? Have you ever seen fry pop up in there?
No, fry. I'm sure the eggs that go right down the drain.
Oh man, that makes
Yeah,
me
they're fish
cry.
of the deep.
UV.
I mean,
There's no
butterflies. I don't know anybody even getting them to spawn in the tank.
Wow.
What'd you say, D? You froze.
I say I don't know anybody that has butterflies spawning in the in the tank.
Oh, I got a pair. I can see them. The copper bands are paired off. The rods
Wow.
are paired off. The semi-Levartis is paired off.
Wow.
And the Tinkers hang out as a group. They're the friendliest fish in the world.
Especially when you dive.
We have another viewer here asking, how long do you quarantine before entering your main display?
Minimum 31 days.
Okay.
Sometimes we go 40, 45 days, sometimes 6 weeks. But the protocol is basically the same, which is it's the Bobby Miller humble fish. He might even be on. Hi, Bob. He taught me everything. But it's basically a copper-based soup or a chloroquine phosphate-based soup, and then we deworm.
Okay.
Internally and externally, in the food and through Praziquantel. So far, so good.
Yeah.
We've actually learned a little bit on which fish, because I have chloroquine phosphate and other people don't. We have the luxury of knowing which fish don't do well in copper and switching to chloroquine, so we don't lose that much in quarantine.
Wow. So the heated topic lately that I've noticed has been pH. Sydney's actually asking, what's your pH at, and are you doing anything to maintain it?
What's that, pH?
Yep.
It's like it runs 8.1, 8.2, and the only time we see it dip is like when there's a low pressure storm outside.
Okay.
You know, when it's raining. And we are dripping our evaporation water. We drip with kalkwasser.
Yep.
We evaporate about 50 gallons a day.
Yep.
Holy
And so
mackerel.
we take a tub, literally fill it up with RODI every day, 50 gallons.
See, I'm telling you, it's like elk watcher, Sean.
50 gallons of
Water in
water.
there, stir it up, and then you just open up the valve, and it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Well, with that volume, you got to look at kalkwasser, just the volume that you'd have to use in that tank.
Kelk watcher is awesome.
It's such a good
I've been
thing.
telling you, Dave.
I love running
Kalkwasser was first.
It was first.
Before there was 2-part, there was
Yes, it
kalkwasser.
was.
I run kelk in my tank.
I run it with caution. Have you ever overdosed your tank, Andrew?
Maybe, when those fish were sick after that first party.
Yeah.
it's pretty tricky with chloroquine phosphate. I probably overdosed them with that. I lost a bunch of amphias. I know they don't do great with chloroquine anyway, but I was so paranoid about degradation that we kept adding and adding. I didn't want to go below the threshold. 10% more, 10% more. I think there was a day I may have gone too much.
Yeah. So if you start
and then
adding,
a lot of fish just disappeared.
no, yeah, I bet, eh? Like if you start adding corals and stuff, so you keep up on, you know, your magnesium and calcium and everything, just going to be doing by water changes, or if you start adding corals to your tank to keep up with the demand.
What's that, Ryan?
I was saying, so if you start adding different corals to your tank, like stony corals, just to keep up with your demand, you're just going to count on like water changes, or you can dose anything, or?
No. We have a humongous calcium reactor, which we just hooked up.
Okay.
What's the gallons, I think?
It holds 2,000 pounds.
Holds 2,000 pounds of media.
Wow.
We're going to use Reborn. And it's being run right now with no media in it. It's just flushing through the system.
Yep.
So we have it, and I'm still only on half the caulk washer that I could put through. So I got a lot of room.
Yeah, exactly. You run your calc washer until the demand comes on, and then you can start turning on
exactly.
your. Yeah, it makes sense for sure. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't see that. Was that in your video when you went downstairs? I didn't see that.
No, it just, believe it or not, it just got hooked up this week.
Oh, okay.
I should video it.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see. I'd like to see
I did
it.
one of the forums.
24 inches in diameter, 48 inches tall.
48 inches tall, 24-inch diameter calcium reactor.
Wow.
I look forward to seeing that one sometime.
That's insane.
The media just came in. I mean, that was not easy to get that Reborn stuff.
Yeah, that much of it.
Julian's got some work to do on the supply on that thing.
You just emptied out his garage.
Yeah. There's gonna be a lot of people. It's very difficult to get. Like I've stored bags here and there, but
now when you go to his site, it says out of stock.
Contemplating ARM.
Oh.
yeah. See, I can't get the Reborn here, so I'm running ARM on my tank. I haven't had a problem with it. Like right now, I've just been using calc washer. My calcium reactor just runs just a little bit to keep it rolling. So I've been running more of the calcium, like the calc washer myself, until the demand comes on. If I can't keep up, I'll crank up my calcium reactor more.
Right. That's what I would do. Exactly, just like that.
So now now when you go to Two Little Fishies, it says out of stock.
People blame me for the ESV shortage around too.
I blame you. It was hard to get that for like a couple of months. Now I know why.
Wow.
That is too funny.
That's crazy. That is
well, he's closer to you. He's right in your own backyard. He's going to get to you before he gets to anybody.
It's right in my backyard.
He's right there.
Right there. I mean, I get it delivered to me 5 miles away.
Yeah.
It's right there.
So we've been talking about. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead, D.
No, I was going to say he's making a new product, in which I believe is going to be a 1-dose thing. Has he mentioned that to you? I believe it's going to be a single dose type of mix.
It's instead of a 2-part, you mean?
Yeah.
Instead of 2-part?
Instead of a 2-part now.
Jonathan? I guess he's trying to compete with the Tropic Marin thing. Yeah.
I mean,
all for Reef, and then Brightwell's got a single dose solution as well. I can't remember which one that one is though. I mean, you have to. There are other companies out there that have it already. Man, we are getting a lot of questions about cost.
Yeah.
Like I've seen like 3 of them pop up. You know, people wanting to know what it costs to run it and what it costs to maintain it and everything.
Yeah. I just haven't hit on those ones yet. It's one of those, like, you know, it's personal. You know what I mean? People ask me all the time. You know what I mean?
It's 17,000 gallons, people. If you got your little tank, imagine.
On these forums, I usually hit the vomit, head explosion, times 20. That's my standard.
Yeah. There you go.
But
it's kind of a legit answer.
I'm crying about my water
give you
bill. I can
give
imagine
you some
his.
general guidelines of what the monthly situation is. One is we do order, I don't know, 15 to 20,000 gallons of salt a month.
A month.
20,000. So
Yeah,
you know
you
what
should
that
do that.
costs.
Yep.
That's okay.
Salt water or salt?
Salt. So, at 50 cents or 70 cents a gallon, whatever the numbers are. My utility bills are 12,000 a month, and they used to run 4. So the extra 7 is probably the tank.
Yeah.
And then I have labor, Yeltsin and Jonathan that come over.
Yep.
Dedicated labor. Then supplies, I would say, is about equal to my salt bill. Everything else. So you get a general idea of what this thing costs to run. That's without capital expenditures or fish or anything like that. That's just general maintenance.
Yeah. Especially like we were talking about before, like you added onto your house, even the cost of the addition.
Forget about that. I can't. Yeah. People ask me about the construction. How much they get the right or about what it would the empty tank would cost, but they have no idea what happened afterwards.
Not including the permits, the planning, the design. Yep. You got to go to the township.
Was massive, and then
approvals,
dehumidifier systems, boilers, these probes cost a fortune.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. We're not using Neptune probes. We're using these Aquametrics probes.
Yep.
$1,500 for a pH probe. And we have several.
Yeah. And here we are, like $150 for.
And I'm complaining.
It's just the VFDs, the conversion, the VFDs, that whole panel was very expensive.
Oh yeah, those speed drives and stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Jay's Reef got a good question here for you. Does the wife know what you spend? Am I on the right one here?
Yep.
Yeah. She was down here before because I knew this question was going to come up. And she's a very famous wife because she allowed it. I wonder what she is. But in any event,
he's looking back.
My only comment is it's a second wife, and they're much more understanding.
Yeah. Well, that's good though. So you enjoy your hobby.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wife approval. Yeah. Seahorse Whisper says wife approval.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's impressive. Yeah, I mean, we touched on a lot of the questions that have all come through. I haven't really seen anything that hasn't been answered.
No, I'm looking through them now.
Yeah, I've been trying to pick away at all the ones here. The questions, there's a lot of them.
Yes.
There's a lot of work goes into a tank that big, no matter how you slice it, baby.
It's a full-time job and then some now.
Yeah.
And when the coral goes in and the other tank opens,
another project.
It's going to double or triple again.
Now, are you going to put the other tank on a different floor?
It's in my office. It's on a different floor.
Oh, okay. So now that's going to be another fish room.
The fish rooms, we share the fish rooms.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So you just pump the water up.
Yes.
Like we touched base on controllers and stuff. Do you have can you access on your computer to see what's going on? Do you get alerts, notifications, all that fun stuff?
There ain't nothing worse than waking up in the middle of the night and getting a low sump alert.
Oh. Those do suck.
Yeah, we're actually still refining that part of the system. But now, if it sends a text and an email and it keeps sending it, we're actually going to have it call a cellular and wake me up.
Okay.
We had a few phantom, poltergeist things that shut the system off. Some bad sensors.
Yep.
So we dealt with that. We had to shut all the sensors off and then see which one that was causing it. And so there was plenty of that where the pumps would just shut off by themselves.
Basically, the sensor triggers it.
Yeah.
millionth of a second.
A millionth of a second, like little drip on
Wow.
a sensor triggers the pumps to shut off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we had to deal with that.
Yep.
You must have a heart attack if you go on vacation. I mean, what the hell do you do if you go away for a
It
day?
always happens on vacation. Don't you know that? Sunday nights, like 2 a.m, and vacation.
I couldn't sleep at night going away if I knew all that was going on. Like, you have a house sitter, or does Jonathan just have a room there?
The right-hand
Both.
man.
We have both. We have both.
You just
Everyone's
sleep
watching
there.
the computer. I got a few guys watching the computer all the time, and I have 1, 2, 3. Well, full-time help in the house. Yeah, always here.
Yeah.
And then Jonathan is 15, 20 minutes away.
That helps give a little bit of peace of mind then, having the
Yeah.
crew around.
Oh, they've been here at 2, 3 in the morning doing some stuff.
This viewer says you have to have him show the speaker system. He plays that music for his fish.
Actually, the music for the fish is different speaker system than the high-end audio room.
Oh, okay.
So it was just an in-wall B&W Crestron system in the house. The main audio room that people know is sort of separate.
Oh, okay.
Too much reflection and noise down here for that.
Paul says you have a Batman cave down there.
Exactly.
That's pretty awesome.
Needs one of those walls that flips around.
Yeah.
Right.
You must host a lot of parties down there.
What's that? COVID. I mean,
Yeah, the COVID thing. Yeah.
yeah, we were supposed to host the Long Island Reefer Association.
Oh, nice.
This year. In
They're
April,
doing
but
everything.
The COVID thing is over.
Yeah, everything's virtual now.
All right, so I can't. I do have some visitors occasionally, local visitors that drive up or drive whatever. We wear masks, but no, we're not doing any big tours until this thing gets done.
Okay. Yeah. There was one guy. One guy said you should start selling tickets.
You know, I have thought about converting this
Oh, right here.
thing to a business, but my mission is to give back to the hobby, not take from the hobby.
Right.
So it's a little difficult to generate revenue. All I would do is try to match some expenses, maybe in advertising and stuff. I don't want to ever charge anybody. I don't want any fee for anything.
Yep.
I just need someone to organize my social media, I think, right now.
Well, I know Seahorse Whisperer asked earlier, have you got all those fish breeding? Have you ever thought about taking them out and breeding them for the hobby? I know a lot of those fish are hard to get here.
Yeah, so we may at some point throw some larval collection, egg collection things in there. Or some of the guys say, if you're fast enough with the scoop, you could scoop some stuff out.
Before the other fish eat them.
I think I'd have a better shot scooping them out from my smaller tanks. I have some pretty rare fish in some smaller tanks that I can get to. Genacanthus personatus and so forth, narcosis. But
Yeah.
I think the breeding thing, that's a whole nother sport, right? It's like
Yes, it is. Full time.
full time, yeah.
There's another viewer
When you
here.
had a parasite breakout, how did you get the meds out of the tank, and how long did it take? So chloroquine phosphate does not bind to the rocks, and the real issue is the phosphate level after that is added. So we basically had to change a ton of water. I mean, I think we did
5,000 gallons twice a week.
Yeah, 5,000 gallon water changes twice a week.
Wow.
And the Prezi was relatively safe. That wasn't a big issue.
Yeah.
That's my biggest fear. If you said to me, like, besides a leak, the fish starts scratching again, like that's a fear of mine. Sometimes I have to leave the tank. I actually have to get up and because I stare at it, I start looking for things. I start that fish twitching? Is that what the hell is that fish doing? Just get the hell out of the room.
The fish is twitching.
Wow. It is a super, super impressive setup. We have, however, taken up, just over an hour of your time here. Was there anything in particular that you wanted to kind of show off, or, any words of encouragement or warning or something when it comes to doing a project like this or whatnot?
No, I want to give back to this hobby, right? So I want to be an inspiration for the go big or go home crowd. I don't want to cause any divorces, but I do want to be an inspiration. I want to. Apparently, I want to make people happy too on Fridays.
Yep.
So that became a whole nother thing, and no, I think there'll be other interviews. There'll be other things going on here. The upstairs tank will be very exciting. There'll be, when this thing gets coral in it, it's going to be a whole different ball game.
Oh yeah. We
probably will do a live feed from inside the tank at some point with one of those submarine cameras.
Yep. That'd be very cool.
These are all the things on the docket. Until then, I'm just the extreme sports guy, the crazy guy out there that took the 6 years to do it.
So now a lot of people don't know that you post regularly. Just give a shout out to your own post so they know where to look for it and what you do.
So we post quite a bit. I post in the groups and I post on my own Facebook. I have my groups that are pretty friendly, and I tend to post either updates, really significant updates in the tank, or just the Happy Friday music from the 70s and 80s. And I try to pick soundtracks that people have not heard in a while.
Yep.
When they say, oh my God. Oh,
well, we were doing good.
I grew up with that song. And that's a whole nother thing going on.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome. Like in
I know he did.
What's that?
He did one from like the 80s that I was like, I was dancing to the other day.
Oh, exactly. Well, look at the.
If it's Wednesday already and I don't have an idea, I start sweating.
Yeah, I bet.
Post.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone's looking forward to that post. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like everybody in the Farm Board Reef Club, he posts in there every Friday. That's awesome. Everybody loves it. I look forward to seeing it too. So it's pretty cool.
Certainly gets people's weekend going.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. It's like our intro music. I picked some 80s music. Right. Gets everybody fired up. So does any of our viewers have any other questions you'd like to ask Andrew?
Another big tank lover. Dope. Jeff Johnson says.
I liked Jeff's question here, though. He said, when you have a gargantuan tank like Andrew, does that suddenly open up doors to meet with other mammoth marine tank owners? Is there a secret club or Facebook group?
No, I like to post in the nano group too.
Yeah.
The nano group.
Oh my God.
Well, the only one above that is what Iulo's 20,000 gallon. He's another couple of miles from you too.
Who's that?
The Long Island Aquarium's 20,000 gallons.
Oh yeah, I mean, Joe
has
been a consultant, and Joe Iulo has been a consultant. There aren't too many people that have done 20,000 gallon tanks, okay, reef tanks. So it's not like it's a small crowd of people to ask for advice and so forth, and what lights and so forth. And he's one of the guys. And that tank there is unfreaking believable. That's the tank I fell in love with and sort of try to model.
Yeah. So are you striving for something like that, if you could?
I think my wife really wants me not to go so crazy on the coral down here.
Okay.
And do it upstairs. She wants me to do it to have some time for the family and not
Be in the basement like me.
and not take 20 years to grow out coral. She wants to maybe move to Florida someday. I don't know, but just in general, those are the issues we come to.
Yep.
How crazy do you want to get?
Hey, Andrew, I'll tell you something you already know, and your wife will love it. You and I know that Joe he frags so much from his tank that he uses the frags in his calcium reactor.
Yeah, he does.
Acros that people would pay a fortune for. He's
Right?
using them in his reactor. Those will start 2 more tanks.
But look, I saw the pictures of what that tank started out as, and it
was
looks
concrete.
nothing like now.
Yeah.
It's concrete.
It took double-digit years to get like that.
And a lot of metal halides, too.
And a lot of metal halides.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you can't even buy that stuff anymore.
You can't even get those fixtures. I think he had like 1,000-watt metal halides.
He's the one that turned us on to these max spec 500-watt LEDs. He actually tried them out and liked the results.
Yeah, he does a lot of consultation. He does a lot of traveling.
Yeah, he does a lot of speeches, and he likes to film owls now.
So the Long Island Society is lucky. They got you right in their own backyard. We got to get you to come to Brooklyn.
COVID's done, I'll start throwing parties.
I hope I get an invite. I'll take a drive up there. I'll take a drive up there.
Yeah.
Right, D. I'll come fly out. I'll drive with you.
Fly out. We take a drive up. Hit the LIE.
I'll jump in with you.
You got to wait for the border.
Bring your wetsuit
I know.
I got a wetsuit here.
Yeah. Do a little swim across the pond.
Yeah.
Man, I definitely appreciate you sharing the build, the trials, the troubles, and the heartache that goes into building that a tank, and a lot of inspiration, because we got a lot of guys in New York, we got a lot of guys in New Jersey that kind of fear what goes into building a system like that, and it does take a lot of work, and it's good to see somebody that does it and has the love for the hobby enough to share that information and knowledge with others.
You know, the story I tell is you come up to these problems that you just would never, no matter how much you planned, there's no way you would guess it.
Yeah.
Like how do you make the floor level so you don't trip when you open up or do the underground storage for water?
Right.
Okay, the water vats, that was like a big deal in engineering. Way big deal.
That's a question I wouldn't even think about until you just mentioned it.
To make the epoxy, the floor's got to be completely level. Otherwise, you're gonna stub your toe and trip and kill yourself.
Yep.
You have floor drains down there too, because that is so far below level. The water runs down. You still have to pump it up to get it out.
We got big pumps, and they check on those all the time.
Yeah, especially you're below grade there too.
Yeah,
right?
he's way below grade.
Yeah. The plumber is here at least once a week.
He's below the frost line. I mean, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You're probably
so when we do the RO and we do it dedicated. How many people we buried?
8 double rings.
8 double rings we buried just for the tank.
Okay.
And that has to be serviced.
I mean, you're below the frost line, but you're probably in the geothermal level. I mean, Long Island is a lot of sand, but you're so far down, it's hard. People don't. I mean, if you're not from New York, I can kind of blab of the New York problems I hear a lot from friends up there. Even when you pump the water out, it has a tendency to come back towards the house.
Yeah.
Like, you haven't had any floods where you are, I hope. Last year we had a lot of flooding out there.
We had a ton of those soil tests from the engineers while we were building this thing.
Yeah.
It is very sandy.
Yeah.
Just where the tank sits.
Yeah.
With a slab goes out 8 feet in each direction. It's all sparkling
Yeah, so the slab that the tank sits on goes out an additional 8 feet
From
in
the
each
house.
direction to support the sand issue.
Yeah, because we had last year we had people coming up with sinkholes because they were pumping water away from the house, and it was generating situation where we get a sinkhole. People's cars were falling in.
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, you have to put good footings in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's concrete and steel.
Yeah, the usual. Yeah. All right. Well, I think we've been at this for like an hour and 20 minutes now, and
I enjoyed it.
yeah, it was awesome. But thanks for coming on the show, Andrew.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Andrew.
Yeah, it's great. Sorry, Sean, I didn't hear you.
I said definitely appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for taking us for a tour and learning all about your tank. It's pretty awesome, and I think the viewers really appreciate that, checking it out, and we'll be looking forward to seeing your Friday posts in the club again.
And you know, I think we're going to start ordering coral, and so it's gonna get interesting from here.
Yeah, another build. Yeah.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing the corals for sure.
And I want to hear those 80s soundtracks coming up too. Tell your son he's got to get to work.
Yeah.
I want some disco. Come on, you got to throw some disco in that.
Oh,
yeah,
I did a whole disco thing already. I did a whole disco thing.
I know. I was jamming to it.
All the lights there.
I did the lights thing with lasers. Now I got to do a fog machine one.
Well, they have the lights that actually pulse to the music.
Yeah, did you see his post there when he had it was like a disco with all the disco lights going on the ceiling?
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, it was pretty cool.
I'm adding that to my list of control items.
Disco lights on the PLC, right?
I need the color changing lights, the disco lights.
I see.
Exactly. All right. Well, I think we're gonna wrap this up for tonight. And thanks a lot, Andrew, for coming on the show.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Yep. And thanks to all our viewers that tuned in tonight. It was definitely an awesome episode of checking out his tank. It's very inspirational. D and Sean, you got anything you want to say before we roll?
D's distracted.
I'm looking at the comments below. I want to thank him for coming on. I want to thank everybody for watching, for keeping it nice, sharing the love. A New York guy, we love it. I can't shout him out enough. And what is it? Shout out your boy Josh again one more time.
Yep.
His store up there in Long Island.
Country Critters.
Hey, everybody, check out Country Critters.
Check him out. He's building thousands of gallons.
Yeah.
Go visit.
If you want to kick your game up a notch, there you go. And that's it for me.
See a wallaby and some toucans and some. What else you guys got? What else you got there?
You got a toucan. And you get a toucan in New York.
Hedgehogs. They got all sorts of crazy things in there.
Wait a minute. What you got a wallaby in New York?
They got a wallaby that literally walks around the place.
Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's on my to-do list. I'm taking a drive. We're taking a carpool.
Take a drive.
We got to make appointments now.
I mean, I want to see now. I mean, you can do and an aquarium,
right?
Hey, I'm just saying, like, why not?
Exactly. All right, guys. So we'll have yourself a great night, and
thanks, you guys too.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Andrew.
Bye, guys.
Bye.